Welcome back to the Little Pink Kitchen in association with SuperValue. Today we're going to make a really easy Mother's Day lunch. Really simple puff pastry tart using balsamic onions and goat's cheese, and we're going to serve it with some really tasty baby roast potatoes. For the tart, what you need is a sheet of ready-made puff pastry, 3 medium-sized onions, you need some goat's cheese, some balsamic vinegar and a little bit of brown sugar. What we do to start off our tart is we top and tail the onions and then we chop in half, and then you remove the tough sort of papery skin from the outside. Just slice the onions into sort of fairly narrow strips. Whenever you're thinking about the sizes, think about how you're actually going to eat the meal, okay? So if it's like a tart that you're going to eat with your hands, you don't want any big chunks of onion that are going to need knives and forks to eat. So once you've got your onions chopped, what you're going to do is you're going to put them in a cold pan, add 200 milliliters of balsamic vinegar. And what you're doing is stirring occasionally, you're allowing that to bubble away for about 15 or 20 minutes. While we're waiting for our onions to cook, what we're going to do is we're going to get the potatoes ready. And we start off by cutting them in half. Just to make them cook quicker. In Northern Ireland we have some of the best potatoes in the world. Cumber potatoes, which these are, have a protected status like Parma ham, and I really think that this sort of recipe shows off the best of our local produce in a really simple way. So when you've chopped your potatoes in half, what you're doing is you're putting them into a pan of boiling water for 6 minutes. Okay, so while the potatoes are parboiling, what we're going to do is we're going to get our tray ready for them to go into the oven. So what you do is you tip in about 3 tablespoons of olive oil and about 2 tablespoons of your balsamic vinegar. So whenever you're using pre-made, pre-rolled pastry, which I always do because I am the queen of lazy shortcuts in the kitchen, you can use the paper it comes in to line your tray. So all you need to do is unroll the pastry onto a baking tray. Life's far too short to be making your own puff pastry. The other thing I do, just to make sure it puffs up nicely, is I mark just around the edges to make like a little frame. You're just scoring the pastry, you're not cutting all the way through. And there you have it, that's our pastry ready to be topped with the onions and some goat's cheese. So after your potatoes have parboiled for 6 minutes, what you're going to do is drain them. And then you're going to tip your potatoes into your oil and vinegar and then give those a good stir around. Top with a good pinch or grind of salt and about the same of pepper. And then those go into the oven. Whenever your onions are ready, and that means that there's just not very much liquid left at the bottom of the pan, stir in 2 heaped tablespoons of dark brown sugar. And what you do is you use them to top the puff pastry. Okay, so once you've spread out your onion as evenly as you can, then what you're doing is you're taking about 150 grams of goat's cheese and you're putting that over the top of the balsamic onions. You need a sort of slightly sweet cheese, so some wedges of brie would work as well, or a really good mature cheddar. So now the tart's ready to go in the oven. So after 15 minutes, we're taking the tart out of the oven, nice and golden brown. And now the potatoes are ready as well after being in the oven for about 25 minutes. Okay, so there we have a really simple Mother's Day lunch. A balsamic onion tart, some lovely roasted potatoes and just a really simple green salad on the side. Head on over to the Belfast Telegraph Facebook and Twitter pages to let us know how you got along with your Mother's Day lunch. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mummies out there.